Well, anyway, we're just about ready to brace for another cold night. The temperature's now at 60 degrees, falling to 32 degrees. Well, anyway, it was such a beautiful day today, and all we did was stay home. I think a lot for the past day, I kind of felt aggravated. And yes, Season 2, Episode 17 said it all yesterday when we did that episode on Picani's new series. About all the drama that's going on and about what these two employees are doing. It's kind of sad the way that these two just take advantage of everything. Kind of makes me think that they don't respect anything, not even their own jobs. They get on the horse, they go around barking orders at people, you get the whole idea. I've said it before, and I'm not going to say it again. Because the volunteers are the ones that are keeping that business afloat. That's what I'm saying. But I just decided that today was not a good day, and we decided to stay home, take it easy, just chill out, rest. And yeah, I did some cleaning. And tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day tomorrow. Then, I will be cleaning and get up early in the morning, and we'll get started with what we need to get done. And as I said before, it's going to be chilly. I mean, the temperature of tomorrow is going to hit 33 degrees. Now, as we wake up on this federal holiday, and, well, so far it's going to be a chilly one, but glad we don't go to work on that day, because it's a federal holiday. Well, anyway, I know there's a lot of things that I said, and I kind of felt like I was upset. When I said I was going to resign from West Creek, I really wasn't going to do that. And I made a promise to Lana that I would stay on. I mean, if she had other intentions of getting myself hired for a weekend job, and that way I could have extra money on the side. And that's what I've been fighting for. I've been working my tail end off as a volunteer all this time. And I've been waiting day in, day out for the past 2 years. And thinking, I told her that I would love to have a weekend job. And she said, okay, well, we'll be glad to have you. And, I've been waiting, for almost half a year when I messaged her, and I think it was about maybe September, October, or even November when I told her about that. And, to this day, still waiting on that message saying, if you want the job, you come in, we'll interview you, and you got it. But so far, no interview as of this point forward. But you know what? I go out there to the ranch anyway. Because I do all the waters. I make sure the horses have nice clean water to drink. I also make sure that the horses are loved on. Which, apparently you look at the two individuals that are flat up lazy, and they don't love their horses. They're mean to them. You know, and when I say that they're being mean to them, you know, they're making them run around in the round pen, you know, and they're working them until they're tired. You know, and kind of that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, for one guy to be in the middle of that round pen, making that horse work its hardest until it's tired. You know, I can understand that a horse is easily trained, and it's in the process of being trained. And, you know, I don't know how to put it, but this one guy just does that. He even gets on the horse in the round pen and he's trotting. He's going around in circles, like ring around the rosy type style circles. And, no, anyway, as he did yesterday, took most of the majority of rides out and did no wrench work. I mean, I watched him throughout the entire day to see if he would do any wrench work. He did 0 wrench work. You know, and people that are so lazy, people that don't do those chores, are one day going to be held accountable. When Lana says, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? And do not give me not one stupid excuse why you're not doing those chores. To keep a business running, you have to work as a team. Yes, you may have volunteers, but that doesn't give you a right to tell them that your job is on their shoulders when it's not. It's not on their shoulders. I mean, if you're getting paid by the hour, you know, you need to work that job. It's not fair for these volunteers, and especially me. I'm part of a volunteer group as well. It's not fair to me that we are not paid by the hour, not like these people are. I wish we were. That would have been pretty nice to have a weekend job where we have a little money set aside. You know, and while we're off from the other job, yeah, that would have been pretty cool too. But, you know, that would have been nice if we were interviewed and we had a weekend job. You know, I'm good working 2 jobs. And, you know, I've been with West Creek for almost 2 years. My anniversary's Tuesday the 27th. And so far, I'm just wondering if I'm going to get this job or not. You know, to actually make West Creek good again. And to put our people first, you know, and our people needs to be put first. You know, and they deserve to be treated with fairness, kindness, respect, and love. And so does these horses. They all do. And it's sad that we look at that they're not even being loved on. They're just workers of West Creek. But you know what? I do my level best when I'm there to love on them and to appreciate all the hard work they do. And that's what I do. When I'm taking a break and I'm not working on water troughs, I would go by and I would pet Picani or Chapo or Bourbon or even Wrangler. You know, and that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, hey boy, you're doing pretty good. You know, and they do work hard. And I'm proud of every single one of them boys and girls. And to show how much I appreciate them, and I appreciate Benji too. Benji, he stood up for us yesterday, and that's pretty nice. And he said it the way it is, that it's not fair that the volunteers are not being paid. I wish that would happen. For me to make a little side money on the weekends and to literally just be more of a servant more than anything else. I mean, for our people. For the people that come and they pay for these rides and they want to go through and have the best experience ever. And that would be good too. I mean, people go out on the trails and they would have a good time. But when you look at the toxicity and the two people that are sitting there playing this silly game, and they hog up all the rides and they're barking orders, plan of descent, and to literally think that they are in control, they're not really in control. They're just employees barking orders. They could bark orders at a volunteer. They could say, you go do my job or else. You're working for free. You don't get paid. And Benji and me, we think that's unfair. And I 100% genuinely agree with what he said yesterday. I think it is unfair. I think we're being treated unfairly by the two individuals that are there right now. I think it's sad that that position came in. And West Creek is being torn from the inside out. Which I think that's stupid. And to tell you one thing, if they would have hired me right now as an official employee, I would say, hey, you know what? Our customers need to come first. Our people need to come first. Our horses need to come first. Everything needs to come first. More importantly, no matter what anybody else says, West Creek needs to come first. Lana, Benji, the people, the owners, they need to come first because they are the bosses. And that's more important when we look at those two great individuals like them. And I may say this before, but don't get on Lana's bad side. Don't get on Benji's bad side. But as I said before, and I said this yesterday in Bakani's episode, I hope and pray that there is a change coming where they will get rid of people who are lazy, that take up the hours, that bark orders, that don't really do anything. They don't do ranch work. People that do not do ranch work, they don't know how a ranch works. When you run a business and you have all these horses that are just right there on the property, there needs to be pens being cleaned. There needs to be fresh water for these boys and girls to drink. And the thing about it is that if none of those ranch chores are not even being done, The customer's going to come in and they're going to say, ooh. So they don't clean the pens, they don't clean the water, and there's all these flies just, there's so many flies. People are writing comments. Yes, I've been reading comments. And yeah, 1-star comments. And there's just so many flies. Like there's an infestation going on. And, it's kind of sad when we look at the fly population. Like, you need to get some traps put up and this and that, but, it's just one of them things. But I'll go ahead and I'll find that comment and we'll read it. And I'm looking for this comment. But anyway, yes, we're still looking for this comment. Here it is. The place should not be in operation. The animals seem exhausted. The paddock that they were in looked disgusted. The water the horses drank from was dirty. Staff don't know what they're doing. One of them yelled, "Kick the horse! Kick the horse!" When I simply had to do was pull the reins to one side to get it to turn. No need for kicking. There are children helping to saddle the horses, and plenty of dangerous mistakes were made. Stirrup heights not adjusted. My shorter friend was allowed to ride off without her feet reaching the stirrups. My other friend's saddle slid off the horse during the ride. I should have known something was wrong when they allowed my grip to ride off without me. Before that, they got me a spirited horse that 2 staff said, "She's going to ride that horse?" I felt so unsafe and afraid, for the whole ride was really happy that it ended quickly. When I offered an apple to my horse at the inn, she didn't take it, but it stepped away from me. That's how you know how these animals are being poorly treated. Please don't patronize this place. It needs to be shut down. When you look at these reviews and you see what these people say, that tears my heart out. And really, it does. But you know what? If they hired me on the spot, that would change. That people would be put first. The horses would be put first. More importantly, I would have done that if I was hired. Oh yeah, here we go. The place was infested with flies. Means significantly infested. I have been to many horse stalls and I've never seen this many flies. It seemed like someone does not clean up regularly in there. It broke my heart to see horses in these small stalls uncomfortable with the numerous of flies all over them. Not to mention these diseases that come from the flies. For the love of these creatures and control of possible infectious disease, please do something about this. And well, yes, the number one goal to get rid of flies is to get the fly traps. They get in there and drop right down, and they're trapped. So that means they're dead. And so far, that's what they are. But when we read these comments, how do you feel when customers put a 1-star comment on there? That kind of makes you feel upset, right? That they said all those things, that things should have been handled differently. But to tell you one thing, things would have been different if I was an employee. I'd say, hey, welcome to West Creek. We treat our customers with open arms. We treat our horses with love, kind, and compassionate. We treat everybody with compassion. And that's what it needs to be. I think everybody needs to be treated with compassion these days. Well, that's what I think about. But let's go to some 5-star reviews and see what people say. This will make you happy. Well, 4 stars for this one. It was a beautiful day for the trail. Enjoyed it very much. Didn't give it a full 5 stars just because the horse was so old. Okay, so, alright, so yeah, there's an older horse in there. I felt like he was struggling, but I kept talking and rubbing to him, thanking him for letting me ride. I'll be back soon. And we look also 5 stars. We're not talking about 4 stars. We'll talk about the 5 stars. What a perfect place to ride. The horses are stunning. And the staff was incredibly knowledgeable. Think about that for a second. When somebody says incredibly knowledgeable, that just puts a smile on my face. I'll be like, wow. They did a great job accommodating. They accommodated us, making everyone feeling comfortable. Best of the best. And 5 stars. That's what it says right there. Now, doesn't that make you feel happy? I think everybody would be happy getting a review like that. It'd make me happy if somebody said, there's this guy named Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan. He greeted us. He made us feel welcomed. He did a great job accommodating us and just was incredibly knowledgeable and making us feel good. Making our customers feel good is of the utmost importance. We look at that. As I look at that, as I say, we need to put customers first. And that is exactly what we need to do. We're not putting them last. We are putting them first. And if I'm elected for a West Creek position, that's what I'm going to do. I will put our customers first. And, that'd be good too. If I run for a term, that's great. If I run for 2 terms, that's even better. Besides, I've almost been there for 2 years, and that'd be pretty good. But you know what? I am going to put this place first. I'm going to be with Benji and Lana. I'm going to be in their corners. I'm going to do a lot of great things with them being my coaches. And me to take orders from them. What they expect out of me. What they expect out of the other clan of people that work there. And to tell you one thing, that if we work together and we make West Creek a better place for not just us, for the horses, for our people, and for everybody, the place of West Creek Trail Rides would be a better place. But people that are lazy, people that are disorganized, people that do not even have a backbone, that's how disorganized a place could turn out to be. But trying to prevent that from happening, you really gotta probably, old saying, fight fire with fire and stuff to make it a better place. And, I hope and pray that things will be better for West Creek. I mean, when I look at these reviews and I read the negative ones and the positive ones, the negative ones ought to make us feel bad. Like, what are we doing? The positive ones bring us much clarity. It makes us feel good when we're serving others. And, you get what I'm saying, guys. When you serve others, does that make you feel good? It should. It should always make you feel good. When you're there and you're helping one another. Instead of bickering, instead of this fighting nonsense and bickering like hens. But we look at it. If you work together, that's great. If you can't work together, then there's that serious issue right there. But, people need to work together and be a team. And that's what Lana and Benji expects out of all of us. But, we tried to be a team. We try. But you know what? When we learn from these reviews, it's telling us you could do better than that. And we will do better than that. That's a guaranteed promise. But anyway, yes, we did our half hour. Thank you for listening to me about all this. We'll see you on the next one.